No, he didn't. No, he taught me years ago, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What are you looking for out of the new Toyota this year? Like,
Yeah.
what would you leave here being like, okay, that's an improvement?
Well, I think it's more chances to win. I think any car manufacturer or team could always have one car that is capable of hitting it any given weekend. But it's when you have multiple cars up front, that's usually the sign that your team or your manufacturer or something has hit on something correct versus just the setup that the individual teams put in. So I'm going to look to do we take up the bulk of the top 5 or top 10? If we do that, then I think we're probably going to be where we want to be.
What is your favorite part about this track? I know winning in fall of 2021 here was a big moment for you, finally crossing that hurdle of winning in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I never was really great here until probably I got with Gabehart in 2019. And then since then, we've been very, very good. I think the last fall race was one of the outliers where we finished 10th. We ran about 5th all day. That was probably the worst race that we had in quite some time here in the last 5 years. So it's just a different track. It's got bumps. It's got different areas you can run in it that can change your car. So it's just very challenging from a mile-and-a-half standpoint. And clearly, I can't figure it out on day one.
And have you noticed an increase in fan engagement after the Netflix series and maybe towards like the casual non-motorsport fans?
Well, I mean, certainly on social media you see that, right? You're seeing a lot of different, casual fans, what you would think casual fans, people commenting on NASCAR that you hadn't seen in the past. So certainly it looks like the engagement's up quite a bit.
With the win, could you tell if the new right side tires offered any more grip?
I couldn't. It's just there's so many variables, and whenever you get out of a car for a couple months, like the off season, everything feels just totally different to me. You could bring back the same tire, same car, same setup, everything from the fall, and I would say the drive's totally different just because time happens. And so I couldn't really tell anything that was earth-shattering. It was more just dealing with Gusts when you would get them.
How do you think the wind is going to affect the race tomorrow?
Well, it won't be quite as much. So I think that the game really will be is who adjusts the best overnight to the changing conditions, because how your car drove today certainly will be different than what it will tomorrow. And especially you add in traffic on top of that. Today it's easy to react about today, but tomorrow over the long haul you'll see who's what.
Aside from the Toyotas, do you feel like the Hendrick cars are the ones to beat?
Yeah, you can't argue any other way. They're always fast and have won all the races in the spring, I think, or last handful here. So while Toyota and Ford kind of get a lot of the pub because they have new cars and what are they going to do, there's something to be said about having a car that you've been able to work on and know the characteristics. Aero maps, right? I mean, we have to guess on our aero maps until we understand is the track data real. They've been dealing probably and tweaking their aero map for on this one car for a while. So there's advantages to be had there that it just takes a while for, if you do make a gain, the people that have got the reps on the old car will still be better for you for a while.
Denny, with Corey LaJoie, Daniel Suarez said Atlanta last weekend was the most intense cup race that they've ever been a part of. Would you agree with that?
I thought from the driver's seat it certainly was more intense than I've seen it in the past. I'd probably say that they're right in that sense. I mean, there was, even when I got to the top 5, I was thinking, okay, we'll settle in here, and there was no settling in. Everyone just kept pushing it, right? And it seemed like the push drafts were just as strong middle way through the race with 40 to go in a stage than it was with 10 to go at Daytona. So it certainly was more intense than what we've seen in the past.
How do you think that'll be? We go back there in the fall, it's a playoff opener. So how crazy is that going to be with that being the playoff opening race of the playoffs?
Yeah, I mentioned last week that we're going to have a new tire, but of course we react to the great finish, and they're not going to change the tire now. They're not going to have that tire test. So it's going to evolve. Things are going to change. Conditions will be different. I would say it was not crazy out of the norm from any of the other Atlanta races, except for the final 300 yards, really. I mean, so I think that really made it as exciting as what everyone's talking about.
It's an arrow map.
What is an aero map? It's just information that, takes the aerodynamics of the race car and it puts it in a computer and tells you how much grip you should have. So it's what we use for simulators.
So not the simulators you drive, but the simulators that you use for your setup, or the simulators you drive
Both,
too?
all above, yeah.
So
Yep.
you just need time, months, or something?
Yeah, so, I mean, not to get too in the weeds, but yeah, we make a lot of speculations until we actually race the car on tracks like this, until we can go validate that data is actually true or false.
Same as building a tire model.
That's exactly right. Same thing. Yep. Yeah, that's how you build your setups, right? Is you take this model, that model, and you put them all together, and it spits out an answer. But if you have crappy information in one of those, then your answer is going to be crappy.
Are you thrilled that Bristol's returning to concrete in the spring?
I am. I'm happy about it for sure. It's been one of the best races, right? You could argue about fan turnout and whatnot over time, and that's why they changed it. But as far as the actual on-track racing, yeah, it's hard to beat Bristol concrete.
You're kind of going to return to the scene of the crime when I beat your drivers, and you said you're retiring that. I mean,
Yeah.
There's not even an inkling that you might pull that out at some point?
I don't think so. No, not in the near future anyway.
Do you have something else to work out yet?
I don't know, but it wouldn't be any fun if I told you.
It's fun for us.
I know. Yeah.
Could give it to us under embargo.
Yeah. I'll send you a text.
What are you hoping to learn about this new Toyota before going to Phoenix next week for the Saturday Championship?
I really am just trying to get all the information on it I can to, learn about it and be better. And again, this is not a life-changing, earth-shattering change. Still, the car itself is the same. The body changed. The engine didn't change, and the suspension, any of that. So it's very, very minor. I have to learn what it takes to make speed out of it. All right, thanks.
Welcome to Raceface Digital, where you can buy, sell, collect, and trade digital MP4 racing cards of your favorite drivers. Receive a free 5-card fan pack when you enroll for free at racefacedigital.com, the ultimate entertainment platform.
This is Harrison Burton, driver the number 21. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of these two videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.